So for those who say, well, that's a religious belief, it's not a religious belief, it's a scientific fact. We're factivists. And let me just ask you a simple question. Isn't it good to be alive? I thought you were going to get more response. Isn't it good to be alive? There we go. We often take this for granted. Life is a blessing. Like my shirt says life has purpose. Say it with me. Life has purpose. Many say that I should have been aborted. In fact, I hear that all the time when I speak on college campuses. There was a debate at Harvard where the professor kept saying that I should have been aborted. It's a really great feeling. I wasn't exactly planned, but quite honestly, most of us are not humanly planned. But we're all divinely planned. Amen? Not that God wanted my birth mom to ever experience the horror and the violence of rape. That's not what I'm saying. But God does specialize in enabling triumph to rise from tragedy all the time. Amen? Amen. So even though my birth mom was a victim of the horrific violence of rape, she did not make me a victim of the horrific violence of abortion. And so I'm that exception that many say, I have no worth. I have no right to life. And I thank God that the trajectory of my life changed because my birth mom was courageous enough not only to give me the gift of adoption, but the gift of life. I grew up in a tiny little family of 15. I have 6 brothers, 6 sisters. Grew up on a farm in Lancaster County, Pennsylvania, and we grew up in a house with 1.5 bathrooms. Just picture that, 6 sisters. But you know what? I had parents who shattered that whole myth of the unwanted child, which we all know is the DNA of the abortion industry. So somehow if you're unwanted, it's okay for violence to be carried out against you. It's a tragedy, the abortion industry. But I thank God that I had parents who loved the mess out of all of us. They shattered that myth. And I will tell you, there are so many people who look at the backgrounds of some of my siblings who came from some violent backgrounds. They had abuse in their backgrounds. And people say, no one should ever have to suffer through that. They would have been better off dead. Nobody is better off dead. We are all better off loved. Amen? I just want to show you, it's already up there. These are my brothers, my sisters, their spouses, and their children. No extended family members except the grandma in the middle of the picture. The Bombergers. I know some people are like, oh, it's the Duggars. No, not the Duggars, the Bombergers. There are 62 of us in this picture. 18 more have been added to this picture since this was taken. And I will tell you that this picture just represents what happens when we stand for life, when we rebuild a culture of life. When we say to the naysayers, no, there's a better path. Every human life has purpose, whether you're planned, whether you're unplanned, whether you're able, whether you're disabled. Amen? Amen. And no matter what beautiful hue of skin you have, every human life has purpose. Whether you're poor, whether you're rich, whether you're somewhere in between. The good thing is that God gives us our equal and irrevocable worth. Not legislators, not justices, no one in the government, because they always tend to get that wrong. Not the Prolife legislators, they get it right. But it never goes well when any human being decides that they can be the arbiter of human values. We have equal and irrevocable worth. That is not given to us by our federal Supreme Court. It's not given to us by the South Carolina Supreme Court that used a gross misinterpretation of privacy that somehow meant that an abortionist can kill an innocent human life. I didn't know that privacy gives you the right to kill another innocent human being. So they're wrong, and I understand that that is going to be changed, and it may be a little bit of time, but justice sometimes takes a little bit of time. And so I'm going to encourage you to pray, vote, and then repeat. It matters who is it. I mean, it was said earlier that elections have consequences. We hear that many times. Elections also have casualties. When we get the wrong people in office who vote pro-abortion, it just continues this devastation.